Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry it's been such a long time since I published one of my reviews. It's been a busy year. I was under the weather, a few health issues, and had a move, so it was quite busy. But here we are again. So we're gonna start with the in-depth reviews of PRS private stock guitars. This is the first one in line. This is a Tiger Glow Smokeburst finish. It's a McCarty. This is the only guitar I have that is one piece top, so that's a reason why it is extra special to me. It is a wonderful private stock with library top. It has pretty nice movement. So yeah, it's a McCarty. Keep in mind, not 594 McCarty. This is kind of the original McCarty, and it only comes in a double cut shape. So let's go through more of the specs. We have a three-way switch. The top is for the neck pickup, middle for both pickups, and the bottom here is for the bridge pickup. And these pickups are the 5815 LTTCI low turn. They are basically vintage style, classic humbucker sound. Then we have one volume and one tone for both pickups, and then we have the push-pull to split the pickups. We have an ebony fingerboard. This is kind of like the best, or one of the best ebony fingerboards I have. Is, you know, top quality, super black color, and super smooth. We have the classic burst. I think this is Paua with a mother of pearl inline. So we'll confirm that when we go to the spec sheet, because I cannot really remember all the specs of these guitars. And then we have the same finish in the headstock, same Tiger Glow Smoke Burst finish. We have a bone nut, and then these are the PRS Generation 3 locking tuners. Like they come in most of the guitars, at least the USA ones. And then we have the buttons for the tuners are ebony. So that's a pretty nice touch right there. And then this is kind of like one of the coolest things about these guitars. This awesome swamp ash back and neck. I think this might be the only guitar I have that has a swamp ash neck. I have several with swamp ash body, but I don't recall right now any other guitar with an ash neck like this. It looks amazing. With the grain, it's just, for me, swamp ash is one of the most beautiful woods in terms of the grain you get. Matching cavity cover. Okay, so we went through all the general specs, but you know, I want to go through the fine little details about it, so make sure I don't forget anything. I have the specifications here. So let's see. So its finish is a nitro finish. The neck shape is pattern. So this is a, you know, in terms of how thick the necks are in PRS brand, we have pattern vintage, which is usually the thickest one. This is a little thinner than pattern vintage. Is pattern. I prefer my guitars to be very chunky on the neck, preferably baseball bat style. But this one is pretty good for me. So I think this is a good balance between, you know, thick and thin. One thing is that this guitar is kind of more like in the vintage style. It's not a shredding machine, like, you know, one of those Ibanez or those guitars that are built for speed, because, you know, you don't get a super thin neck, and so it's not a flat fretboard for people that want to shred like progressive metal. So it works for me. It's like I usually play rock, classic rock music, so it's perfect for that. So the bridge and tremolo, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is the one piece, the famous one piece. And this one you can also find it in several other stop tail guitars from PRS. So according to the specs, it is a aluminum stop tail bridge with brass inserts. So yeah, you can definitely see the brass inserts. So the strings are touching the brass, they're not touching the aluminum. So there's a little point here where the string is resting, where you can see that it is actually brass. So let's see, not sure if you can see that in camera. So continuing here with the specs, we have 22 frets. So the tuner is a PRS Phase 3. Yeah, sorry about that, I said Generation 3. Phase 3 set screw locking tuning pegs with ebony buttons. We have a scale length of 25 inches. The hardware is nickel and gold, so we have a nickel combination situation here. Not much gold. We only have gold. The actual screws of the pickups are gold. Then this hardware piece for the switch tip, gold. Then we have the strap mechanism as well. So yeah, so this strap screws are gold. So, and then there's also some gold in the screws and the machine heads on the back of the guitar. Okay, the guitar came with factory 1046 strings, and these are the actual strings that I have in the guitar. You know, most of the time I play 1046, but if it's a longer scale guitar, like, you know, Fenders, I usually use 9s, but this one is pretty good the way it is with 10s. We have a radius of 10. That's what I was saying, that it's kind of more like a vintage style fretboard. Then these are measurements I took of the guitar. So these are exact measurements. So the fretboard, the width of the fretboard at the nut, the factory spec says 1.6875, and I measure 1.7125. I use a caliper style high precision instrument for this. So the neck width in the 12th fret, 2 inches, 0.0765. The neck thickness on the first fret is 0.9015. Neck thickness 12th fret, 0.9630. The weight is 7 pounds and 8.3 ounces. So relatively light. And at least in terms of the collection I have, I usually have, most of my guitars are Les Paul styles. They're usually pretty heavy, closer to 9 pounds, and some of them closer to 10. So, you know, for me, 7 pounds, it's kind of 7 pounds and a half. That's a pretty manageable guitar, and not too bad for your shoulders and back. So let's see what else. It comes with a brown case. um, a brown leather case. If you want to see the case, you can see I have a PRS private stock collection video where I showcase all the private stocks I have, including this one. That you will see the if you are interested, you can see the case there. And then what else? Oh yeah, so the neck pickup output is 7.08 and the bridge pickup output is 7.25. So right there in the range of vintage humbucker, you know, so that's pretty cool. And the both pickups 3.59. Yeah, so this guitar is from 2021. So 2021 guitar, so currently 4 years old. Okay, so the inlays, there are Paua burrs with mother of pearl outlines. You can see them here. So these are the classic burrs. In case you don't know what Paua is, it's a high-grade abalone from New Zealand. So it's abalone, but very high quality. I mean, it kind of, I see more greens and blues compared to other abalones. So I don't know if you can see that, but this is my favorite. These are my favorite burrs of all the guitars I have. Whatever you call it, private stock, wood library, these are for me the nicest ones. So you know, when you, depending on the light angle, you know, you can see all those colors. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. And we have the same situation with the private stock Eagle. On the headstock we have, I'm not sure if you can pick that up in the camera, but that is Paua with the mother of pearl inlays right there. Pretty nice. Yeah, sorry about the light, because I usually do these videos with natural light, but since we live in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle area, and it's pretty much winter right now, we just don't get natural light. It's very hard to get a sunny, nice day. So I have some, you know, artificial white light trying to simulate a little bit of natural light, but I don't think it's doing a good job. Anyway, so I think that's all regarding the specs. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm going to kind of try to show you a close-up of the guitar, the best I can here with the limited light we have. You can also find more close-ups on the collection video. I'm gonna leave the link to that video here in the description so you can access it easily. People ask me all the time about if it's worth buying such a high-end guitar, and I go through those details in the collection video, but the main thing I have a problem with is the tone woods situation. That's just marketing BS. You know, for me it's about this hard to find woods in terms of the aesthetics, the beauty of these instruments. You combine these amazing woods, that's kind of what I'm trying to find. The tone of the instrument the wood, it doesn't really, it's not a significant influence on the tone. I mean, maybe 5% or less. So you cannot really, the human ear cannot really perceive that. You can do all the blind tests you want, and you're gonna find out that humans don't know how wood sounds. The main things are the microphones. I mean, sorry, the pickups, the speakers. The speakers, they have a very good influence on the sound, a very important one. Oh, look at that! The plate for the output jack is golden, so I missed that. And then I love the grain in the size of the guitar. I mean, these people, they do a great job selecting these woods. Yeah, so don't buy expensive guitars because of the tone wood. That's all lies. I mean, a decent guitar, even a $300 guitar, the wood is fine. It's about how it looks. Because these woods are so expensive is because they are beautiful and they are very rare to find. This could be a plain maple top, but it's just, instead of that, it's a one-piece quilted in a way that it looks like art, and it's art from nature. Even this swan patch, it has movement. I mean, there's like movement all over. If you take a look at every single detail of this guitar, of this back, is moving. Not sure if you will appreciate it here, but yeah, I mean, looking this guitar on the flesh is just a totally different experience. Sometimes I just look at the guitar and don't play it. I just stare at it. But of course, I do play all my private stocks. All the guitars I have, the cheapest to the most expensive ones, I play them. They are in a rotation. Guitars are meant to be played. Of course, I respect people that collect them just to put them on the wall. If you have the money and honest money you made with your hard work, why not? Just go for it. As long as you're not using the family budget or your college kids found for those purchases. So yeah, so right now I think we're done with all the specs. What we're gonna do now is that we're going to listen to the guitar first. I'm gonna just like play a few short samples to see how the guitar sounds. Just keep in mind, I don't like making demos of guitars. First of all, you're gonna be listening this video I don't have any control of what speaker you're gonna be using it. Hopefully you're gonna use professional headphones, studio headphones too. That will be the best. But then most people will listen to this in a little tiny two-ear speaker in their smartphone. So I try to make it as real as possible, but it's up to the playback device. So yeah, so we're gonna listen to it, and then after we get those samples, we're gonna just listen to the guitar, how it sounds in a mix. Alright folks, I think I'm done with this video. Sorry again it took me so long to get to this, but I'm gonna try to throw one of these videos once a month. So yeah, so I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope that this teaches you a little bit about what is private stock and what are the great woods you can get if you get one of these guitars. Keep in mind you can order these guitars custom made through an authorized PRS private stock dealer, or you can simply buy one that is already done in a shop, because shops, they do order their own private stocks, and with libraries they do a few runs a year. And then I mean, look at this thing. I don't think I had the imagination to design this guitar. I just found it, and I love the way it looks and the woods, and I bought it. So yeah, look out there. There's so many private stock models that might be a good option for you. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.